Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your January 2021 mid-month general readings. We are looking at the last 2 weeks of January, and this reading is for the fire sign of Aries, our Rams. Thanks for being here today. Thanks for taking the time to tune in and for hitting that like button and that subscribe button and for sharing if you're so inclined. I hope you're all safe and well, and I hope that you had a very Merry Christmas and a nice transition into the new year, or at least a peaceful one. So this reading is for the fire sign of Aries for the last 2 weeks of January. Aries sun, moon, rising. If your Venus is in Aries, or if you're cross-watching for an Aries, it's all relevant. But of course, it's going to resonate a little differently for everyone, being a general reading. So watch all of your signs if you know them for additional insight. If you find that any of these readings do resonate with you and you'd like to reach out for a personal reading for yourself or as a gift for someone else, you can click on the description link below, click on the little arrow, which will pull down some info and contact details. You'll see my email address there. Feel free to email me directly, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I can usually respond within the same day with more information. I do have a wide variety of readings, and I do readings full-time. It's all that I do, so I'm pretty diligent about working with your schedule in mind to get readings set up in as timely a fashion as possible. So email me if you'd like. I'd be delighted to hear from you. Particularly popular around this time of year, although you can order them any time of the year, are the 6 and 12-month overviews I do, which give you a kind of a sneak peek at what's coming in different areas of your life for 6 or 12 months. And so something else to keep in mind as we're transitioning into a new year. Okay, Aries, let's see what the last half of January 2021 have in store for you. We begin with Judgment, followed by the Three of Wands, the Empress, followed by the Seven of Swords, Faith, followed by Death, wow, 4 out of 6 of these are major arcana cards. So whatever this is going on, Aries, it's probably pretty significant and pretty profound to you. From the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Cups. I'm going to take this second card too, and the Ten of Cups. So your general focus for the last 2 weeks of January, or where the majority of your energy is quite lovely. Your focus is on, the home, the happy home card here, feeling like everything is really well connected and quite content and harmonious in your home and family life, whatever that is, and enjoying that. The Three of Cups is getting together, having a good time, partying, drinking, dancing, really connecting well with the people that you love. Sometimes this could be, entertaining, feeling really good about, you have your happy home, you have your white picket fence, everything's kind of feeling like everything's kind of joined together in a really great way with home and family, and really celebrating that and socializing, of course, keeping in mind about safety and issues and restrictive issues in our pandemic world today. But the focus generally is on really having a good time, enjoying home and family and the pleasures of home and family, and socializing within that sphere as well. The focus is definitely on happy home and the enjoyment of that. But it feels like here, Aries, I'm getting 2 distinctly different stories here, and they're equally as strong, so it may be more or less split up for those of you who are watching. Again, it's a general reading. So it feels like either you are in the process of trying to make a major significant decision that may affect your home and family. It might affect your primary relationship, and making new plans for your future, and maybe breaking away from what is the conventional, but keeping that sort of undercover, keeping it to yourself. It might be that some of you are considering making a change in your life or making a major decision or choice in your life that's about your future, having a better future, a better start. Or you may have some concerns about perhaps a primary partner or relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. You might be having some concerns or some hidden fears that they might be planning on making decisions which could impact the relationship or the home, in the name of their best interest for their best future, which may or may not include you, and you may have some concerns about that. Because I'm getting these two different stories. It's like somebody, it's either you kind of secretly making plans or keeping things to yourself about making some significant decisions about home and family that you think are in the best interest for your future, and you might be afraid to share those with a primary partner or your family. Or you might be having some concerns or picking up some signals that your primary partner, in the name of their best interest or future, might be considering making significant changes which might affect you, maybe in a negative way. You know, it could be thinking about breaking up or thinking about leaving. Because we have judgment here, which usually shows up when somebody is at a crossroads and needs to make a significant or major choice. And that choice could really be a game changer, right? So it's all about considering and making the best decision possible. So what is that about? So judgment comes with the Three of Wands, which is taking steps to feel more positive and optimistic about your future, beginning to see the efforts of your work paying off, and that makes you feel more optimistic about the future. So feeling like you're at some kind of crossroads, where you're needing to make a significant choice to have maybe a better and more optimistic, brighter future. Or again, you're picking up signals that somebody close to you is doing that, and it might be a source of concern for you. We have the Empress here, the traditional Earth Mother of the Tarot. Feminine, sensual, beautiful, fertile, can also represent new beginnings. Planting the seeds for a new beginning, which it might be. I think for some of you it's a combination of both. I think the Empress represents somebody in your life, for some of you, that's like your primary person, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. They're beautiful, sensual, they're just the best of everything, right? But underneath the Empress, we have the Seven of Swords, which is usually a card of strategy and being covert, concealing. It sometimes can represent theft or exploitation or deception, concealment in a negative way, sneaking around. But the simplistic definition of the Seven of Swords is that the person in it has something they want to do, gain, accomplish, acquire. And in the process of doing that, they feel like they have to be, kind of covert and keep things undercover in order to accomplish that. And this is under the Empress. I think, and this might be more of the energy for some of you, I think for some of you, it doesn't feel like somebody in your life that you viewed as the Empress, this lovely, beautiful, sensual creature, just full of promise and potential, that you would be considering doing something that, would break you away from the Empress. It might be that for some of you, but for others of you, it feels like you kind of feel like because this feels more like a relationship and home and family reading. You may feel like you're pretty set in the home and family, but you feel like maybe, or you're picking up some signals or something that your partner or this person might not be as content as you, and you might be perceiving some of his or her behavior as they're doing something for themselves, and their future that might not include you. For example, I don't know why I'm getting this, it might be one person specific story. It's like you're in this long-term relationship or marriage and you feel like things are more or less pretty good, but maybe all of a sudden your partner starts to, I don't know, go on a diet, exercise, workout, start getting different interests and stuff, and aren't things that really include you, and you may start to think, why are they doing that? Are they thinking maybe of going elsewhere, or starting something new in their life, and I'm not going to be a part of that? It's sort of that there's a feeling of worry and concern, and it might be a bit of insecurity. Now for others of you, this might be on the other side of the story. You might be in this sort of situation and you might be making plans which would really impact your home and family life and your primary partner if you have one. And because you're not sure what the reaction is going to be, maybe making plans to change, to move, or to get a new job, or to go away for a while or something, you might not be telling them everything, your partner or your family. Because at the end here we have faith with death. So faith, it's called faith in this deck. In other decks it's referred to as the Hierophant. It represents convention, tradition, the establishment, the way most people do things, institutional energy. But death represents an ending, a complete and total clearing out, or a transformation. So this would often represent kind of bucking the system or breaking away from the conventional. But again, there's this energy of somebody thinking about the future, maybe making some plans for the future, but being kind of covert about it. But that covert sort of energy and planning for the future and maybe starting to take some steps towards a different future is on the bottom row of cards, and I read that as kind of underlying energy. There's concern here on either side, whether you're the one thinking about making plans which could significantly impact your relationship and or home and family, but you're afraid of talking about it or coming out with it because it might cause some conflict, or you're afraid that somebody close to you is making those kind of plans or thinking that. You just have this feeling, you're picking up some little signals, and you're worried about that because it might cause the end of this stability that you feel you've had. So let's clarify a little bit. Let's clarify judgment, which is usually the crossroads, choice. It usually represents needing to make a choice, and even if the choice itself doesn't seem all that significant, the effects and consequences of it will be profound and long lasting. So clarify judgment. And I feel like maybe even for more of you, this might be concern about it, because it looks like you feel like you're pretty happy in the home and family realm. That's what the focus is. If you have a partner, you view your partner as somebody quite special. So it might be that your concern is about this changing because somebody may not be on board, or they may be thinking about making changes. Clarify judgment. Here we have death again, so we have death twice. One is on the top row of cards, one is on the bottom. So an ending, one of these choices would represent an ending. The card behind that is the Ten of Cups again, so we have the Ten of Cups twice as well. And whenever you have repeating cards in a spread, it means that there's more energy, more thought, more focus on that. So we have two death cards and two Ten of Cup cards. So the crossroads, the choice, or the fear of somebody making a choice, has to do with basically breaking up a home, or making a choice that's going to significantly end the home and family life as you know it, whether it's in breaking it up and leaving, or making some other changes that will cause some kind of ending to the way it is now, which it looks like you already enjoy. So again, for many of you, instead of being half and half like I thought in the beginning, it might be that you're concerned about this changing, somebody making a decision, probably a partner, being afraid that they're going to do that in a way that's going to cause a negative, an ending to what you feel quite comfortable with. Let's clarify the Empress, because I feel like for many of you, you know, the Empress is a card that represents fertility, and the Ten of Cups, in addition to being the happy home, can represent marriage, childbirth. It might be a fertility issue. It might be that you're pregnant and don't want to be open about that yet, or it could be you're trying to get pregnant. You're not talking about that because it might cause, you know, I don't know, maybe it's a source of conflict or something of that sort. It could be, you know, being in a long-term relationship but not marriage, and marriage actually being a bone of contention or conflict within the relationship. And it's come to the point that, you know, somebody may be thinking about making decisions to maybe move on or end things because they're simply not happy, or it's not going where they want it to go. Could be that as well. Clarify the Empress. The Two of Cups. So you obviously see this person as your soulmate, your kindred spirit. Right behind that is the Tower. Major endings. Endings that would be perhaps unexpected and cause the breakdown of something. This feels very fear-oriented for some of you, maybe even for many of you, Aries. Like the fear that because you're content with things being the way they are, but your partner, or could be important family member, isn't. Maybe this is something that you guys have had conflict about. Maybe they've gone quiet and they're just doing other things, and you're worried that they're, it feels fear-based. It feels like somebody who's in a long-term relationship and they're content with things the way they are, but their partner maybe isn't. And it feels like maybe the two of you have gone around and around about this in the past. And for some of you, it feels like maybe your partner has stopped like getting into conflict with you about it or arguing with you about it, but they're doing other things, maybe starting new behaviors or something that make you worried that they've given up and they're making plans to, you know, actually end or separate things down the road, but they're just not talking about it. Interesting. Clarify faith. And again, it might be you the one considering doing this as well. The Lovers. The Three of Pentacles was behind that too. The Lovers can sometimes represent needing to make a choice between two people, or making a choice about a significant or primary relationship that's either about the relationship or a decision that's going to significantly impact the relationship. It can sometimes, not always, mean third-party situations. So can the Three of Pentacles, because there's a tri-energy here, a trinity energy here. Yeah. Why Death? Clarify Death. Clarify the original Death card. But it feels like the fear is about things ending. You're content with things the way they are, but maybe you know your partner's not, and you're worried that things are going to end, that they're making plans or taking action but towards that, but not telling you about it. Again, you could be on the other side of this, but that's kind of what I'm feeling. Page of Cups, messages, emotional messages. The Five of Cups, regret. The Three of Wands, the future, feeling more optimistic about the future. Yeah. Regardless of which side of this story you're on, for those of you for whom this resonates, one person feels happy and content with things the way they are. I feel like the other person doesn't, and both of you know that, and again, perhaps it's been a bone of contention in the past. There's some fear from one of you that the other one is taking action or making plans or setting the stage for them to end this in the name of their own best interest. And there's worry and fear here about that. Strong worry and fear, an undercurrent, a strong undercurrent. It may be the person who's in fear is keeping things cool on the top, but there's this undercurrent of fear that someone is hiding their plans for the future from them because they don't include them. That's what I'm getting. So let's pull some advice and guidance cards. What's the best way for Aries to navigate through this? Advice, guidance, feedback for Aries. The Knight of Cups, reaching out, making a love offer, putting your heart out there, putting your cards on the table, saying, I love you. I mean, if you're the one making the plans and your partner is kind of picking up this and having this fear and concern and they're reaching out to you, you're being asked to engage with them in a loving and emotional way. But for others of you, this is a card about reaching out, like strongly, because Knights are aggressive and assertive. They go charging out there, and the Knight of Cups is the Knight of emotion, the Knight of water. So he charges out there, bearing his heart on his sleeve, putting all his cards on the table. I love you. The Seven of Wands, defending that which you have put a lot of time and effort into. And here he's defending his castle, his home, that happy home. So Aries, for those of you for whom this resonates, if you're having some hidden fears about your partner, your family, your home situation, you feel like somebody's not sharing something with you, now is the time to kind of sit down and have a frank and open discussion, express to them exactly how you feel about them, no holds barred, because you really want to hold on to what you have, and do what you need to do in order to kind of retain that, maintain that. Before I think it goes any further, and kind of get things out and clear. Interesting reading. Feels like somebody's afraid of losing somebody. And now's the time to, again, put all the cards on the table and kind of express exactly how you feel, and do what you need to do, at least your part, to hold on to what it is that you feel is so near and dear to you, this happy home energy. Okay, Aries, that is your reading for the second half of January 2021. I hope that it was useful and insightful for you. Again, if any of these readings resonate with you and you'd like to reach out for a personal reading for yourself or as a gift for someone else, maybe take a deeper look at something, you can email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you and to work with you. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the February general readings. Until then, stay safe and well, be blessed, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.